Welcome to this short session about National 5 English word choice. My name is Dr. Adam. Our learning intentions: we will revise word choice and we will look at some word choice questions. Hopefully you will be reminded of hints and tips to help you to revise, and you will gain insight into approaches that will support you to do well in the reading for understanding, analysis and evaluation paper. There are three basic question types: understanding, analysis and evaluation. So we're looking at what the writer is saying, how the writer is saying it, and how effectively, in your opinion, the writer is saying it. Many learners find the analysis questions the most challenging. To help you to remember what analysis involves, the WISP acronym is useful: word choice, imagery, sentence structure and punctuation, and of course, don't forget about tone. A good starting point is to think about denotations and connotations. A denotation is the meaning of a word or image, in other words, the dictionary definition. A connotation is what is implied or suggested by the word or image. So for example, the connotations of a dove are peace, and the connotations of a love heart are love or romance. Annotating, taking notes around the text, and using highlighters is really helpful. There's no right or wrong way of doing this, unless of course you colour in the whole text. Start by highlighting interesting and/or unusual words, sentences and punctuation as you read the text. Let's look at some fairly straightforward examples. In these, I've put in bold what I consider to be the effective word choice: interrogated, bombarded and imminent. You won't get full marks for simply quoting a word, you also need to explain. So for example, interrogated has negative connotations and suggests that the parents asked the boy lots of questions, possibly to catch him out. Bombarded also has negative connotations and suggests that there have been a lot of images, an overwhelming amount, and imminent in this context has negative connotations, but it could be neutral depending on what's being described, and suggests that it could happen at any minute, as if it's about to happen. Now try examples 4 to 9 on the next slide, then check to see how you get on. So the words we're looking at here are sloppy, squandered, reckless, calculated, valuable and flimsy. And once again, start by thinking of the connotations of the word. Sloppy has negative connotations and suggests untidy or messy. Squandered, also negative connotations, suggests wasted or spent foolishly. Reckless, negative connotations again, suggests careless, not thought through or irresponsible. Calculated is neutral and suggests the response to the question is deliberate and thought through. Valuable has positive connotations and suggests the employee is worthy of respect, admiration and well thought of. And flimsy, possibly but not necessarily negative connotations and suggests the material is thin, insubstantial and possibly cheap. If you want to find out how much you know, consider trying this quick quiz on the Bright Red Publishing Digital Zone. You have to make an account, but it's free and really easy to use. Now let's take a look at some SQA word choice questions. This is from the 2017 SQA past paper. The passage is about resilience. Remember that it's a good idea to highlight or annotate the text as you're reading, so think about what you would highlight or annotate as I'm reading the text to you. My best friend Mark was a keen footballer. We played in my back garden every afternoon as kids, often down the local park. Sometimes other kids would join us, and in the summer we never seemed to leave. I often think of those long, endlessly absorbing days, game after game, sometimes until it got dark and we played by the dim glow of streetlights. In the summer holidays, my mum would make a 2-litre bottle of orange squash and we would pass it from player to player at half time, none of us deterred by the fact it had got warm in the sun. My, it tasted good. The question asks about word choice to show positive childhood football memories. Remember that you have to quote the word or words and explain effectiveness. Here's the extract again, and I've got the words that suggest positive memories in bold. So played, every afternoon, sometimes other kids would join us, never seemed to leave, endlessly absorbing, glow of street lights, 2-litre bottle of squash, none of us deterred, and my, it tasted good. Here are the possible answers from the SQA website. You'll see that you need to quote for 1 mark and explain the quote for another mark. For 2 marks, you only need one of the bullet points on the slide. Now let's take a look at another example from later on in the passage. And here you're asked to refer to 2 language features and explain how the writer makes clear his view about competition. And we'll concentrate on word choice. Again, while I read the extract, think about the words or phrases that you would highlight or underline. The majority, like Mark, never made it through the first lap. Others made it to the final straight before dropping out. But this is football, this is life. Failure is an inevitable aspect of any competition worthy of the name. Without losers, there cannot be winners. Without pain, there cannot be joy. Without natural selection, there cannot be evolution. Failure is not the opposite of progress. Failure is part and parcel of progress. Again, I've put in bold the words that would seem to show the writer's view about competition. So inevitable, natural selection, evolution, part and parcel. Here are the possible answers, and again you need one of these bullet points for 2 marks. Once again, you quote the word and you provide an explanation. Before we finish, here are some suggested next steps. As mentioned, you might want to try the Bright Red Publishing Digital Zone. You might consider looking at BBC Bitesize. I would also suggest that you read regularly, especially quality newspapers, and that you note new words and meanings when you come across them. This will build your vocabulary and also help to improve your writing. So, we have revised word choice and looked at questions. Hopefully you have been reminded of hints and tips to help you to revise. You should have gained insight into approaches that will support you to do well in this paper. Thank you for accessing this resource. Good luck with your assessments.